And welcome to a special edition of the Bells and Whistles Show. It's your boy Nando in association with IQ Boxing and Safer Training Solution. It's a one-man show today. Our co-host is late, but we have a packed house today. We've got two special guests. We got the English middleweight champion, Linus Udofia. Welcome, Linus. How you doing?
How you doing, man? I'm good. I'm all good.
Thank you for coming down.
Thank you for having me on.
And we got the Southern Area Super Welterweight Champion, Sean Robinson. Sean, welcome.
Thank you, mate. Cheers for having me on.
Anytime. Sean, I'm going to start with you. For the people that don't know who you are, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm from Ruislip, West London. I've had 12 professional fights, won 10, lost 1 and drawn 1. I've held the Southern Area title, and the only loss I have on my record was on the Ultimate Boxer tournament, so it was live on BT Sport. I won my first fight against an unbeaten fighter. I beat him, he was 6-0, and then I lost in the semi-finals to a 2016 Olympian, Stephen Donnelly, by 1 point. It was a 3-round fight, and I'm quite used to fighting over 10 rounds now. So hopefully, I think my next fight's a 10-rounder, English title eliminator, so hopefully back to winning ways.
Fantastic. So obviously you won the title against Joshua Ejakpofi.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
How did it feel when you heard the new?
Yeah, it was brilliant, mate. Obviously, we trained hard for 8 weeks, and Joshua Ejakpofi was 12-0. He was a 6'2" southpaw, so I don't think anyone wanted to fight him. He was mandatory for the title for a year.
Oh wow!
And he was just waiting for an opponent, and then I took him on, beat him, defended it against John Brennan, which that was my draw. And then we're just waiting now. Hopefully I win this. My next fight is an English title eliminator. If we win that, we'll hopefully challenge him for the English title later on in the year.
Fantastic. You just mentioned the draw against John Brennan.
Yeah.
Do you think you could have done something different to have swayed the judges' decision?
You know what? It was actually a brilliant fight. In my opinion, I boxed a very good fight. I thought I'd done enough on the night, but boxing is all about opinions, isn't it? So John was very aggressive on the night, pushed me back. The judges couldn't split us, so he's actually fighting Linus next, so it'll be interesting.
I know.
So yeah, but now hopefully Linus does the business. But now John's a good guy, good fighter, and all the best to him.
How's camp going for your next fight at the moment?
Yeah, it's going brilliant, mate. I'm feeling fit, feeling strong, hard sparring. Obviously Linus is fighting the same night, so we're sparring each other. Can't get better than that for me. He's a middleweight champion, I'm a light middleweight, so I'm sparring the English middleweight champion, weight above me. It's perfect. I think we're just bringing each other on leaps and bounds, so hopefully I'll be able to get the English title as well. Linus British, we'll be doing well this year.
Fantastic. Hashtag strap season, yeah? What inspired you to get into boxing?
My dad actually took me down, because my dad's from Shepherd's Bush, so Delview Boxing Club, where Grenfell Tower was. I started boxing there at the bottom. I was there from 7.5 to 14 years old, training there, and then my amateur coach left. But my dad just always, he didn't drag us down there, but he was always watching like MMA, boxing, so he was always around like combat sports, and that's how I got into it. I watched my brother my brother started when he was about 10, I was about 6, and after a year I just started joining in on the bags and that, and I haven't turned my back since.
We were discussing before the show, you're a big QPR fan.
Yeah, that's it, I'm a big QPR fan. Yeah.
Did you ever think before maybe to get into football, or was you more good at the pads?
Yeah, do you know what? I wasn't a bad footballer. I was a goalkeeper. I was actually a decent goalkeeper, believe it or not. But when I went 11-a-side, I wasn't actually that big. I grew as I got older. I sort of fell out of love with it. I wasn't ever going to be like a professional footballer, but I was a good standard. Like it was good Sunday league. Like it was like the Premier Division of Sunday league sort of thing. You get 5 divisions. So that was good. I played a good standard of football. I played for county as well.
Okay.
But yeah, so when I got to about 15, boxing sort of just started to take over a bit. Obviously, got 11 other players. You've only got 1 boxer, so.
I'm sure you was better than my team's keeper, Kepa.
Oh, Kepa, yeah.
Our future manager. You obviously fought. You mentioned Steve Donnelly for the Ultimate Boxer. He actually went on to win that.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
Yeah, it was really good. Donnelly's a good fighter. Like I've got a lot of respect for him. Obviously, we had a good fight, but he's recently said he's gone out to middleweight now. So I was sort of hoping for that fight at light middleweight, like further down the line. But we've both gone separate ways now. But no, he was a good fighter. When I got in with him, I learned a lot, because he's a former Olympian, and I think he was only 1 fight off a bronze medal. And it was a good fight. We've just been in the ring with him. It showed me. I think I'm at that level, like British level. I think Donnelly's a British level fighter, like British title level. Where it showed to me, it was only a 3-round fight. If anything, I feel like that suited him more than me. 3 rounds. He's an Olympian. He's used to it. But no, I was happy with it, and it was a brilliant experience on my box. So I got used to TV, everything, got my face up there as well, so that's good.
So being in welterweight,
super welterweight, yeah.
Super welterweight at the moment, let's say it's one of the hardest divisions to be in.
I agree.
So many great fighters in that division.
Yeah.
Is there anyone you particularly look up to?
Do you know what? I don't now. Like in modern day, I don't actually look up too many fighters. I do like my old boxers. Like I love people who box. I'm not a big fan of people just stand there and trade. Like Mike Tyson, for example, is not someone like a lot of people love that, but I love like the Mayweathers, Pernell Whitakers, Sugar Ray Leonard, people that move. That's how I like to box. I think sweet science, they say, don't they? So hit and don't get hit. But a lot of people make me laugh, just like aggression in boxing. And sometimes judges score that as well. I'm all about hitting and not getting hit. So if I score a fight, I think I've won it. It's good enough for me.
So I'm guessing you're a fan of the likes of, let's say, Lomachenko.
Yeah, I love Lomachenko. Yeah, he's a brilliant fighter. The thing with Lomachenko is the way he boxes that's completely different to me. He does a lot of like little steps, head movement. Like I'm more of a back foot behind my jab. But yeah, Lomachenko is amazing. He's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist. He only lost one amateur fight, so he's got to be an all-time great. So
amazing. Your next fight, 10-rounder, Adrian Martin.
Yeah,
do you know much about this guy?
Yeah, we're actually the same manager. Adrian's he's a good fighter. Adrian, he's quite. I think I think the level I'm at now, I've got to have hard fights. So my last 4 fights, I think 3 of them have been unbeaten fighters. So like hopefully Adrian's only lost 1 out of 13, I think, or 1 out of 12. So he's won a lot of fights. So hopefully I can beat him and push myself towards that English title. I've just got to get in there, get behind my boxing, and just not get like sounds simple, but just move and hit and move.
Is this a title fight?
It's English title eliminator. So hopefully the winner of this, if I win it, I'll be champion of the English title next.
Fantastic. Linus, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Linus, I was there the night that you won the title. Let me ask you first, how did it feel when the judges said, what the announcer said, and you?
Oh, like I was in a dream, you know, like I didn't even hear him say it new. I just saw my coach,
everyone go crazy,
everyone on my side start going nuts, and that's when I was like, oh, I won, oh wicked, there we go. Like, yeah, no, it was a bit surreal. It was like I was dreaming, you know. I didn't really land until I like calmed down in the dressing room, really.
Yeah.
But no, it was a really good feeling. It was a really good feeling.
I remember I interviewed you straight after, and do you know what? That was the fight of the night.
Yeah.
Tyler Denny did really well as well, but you know, you got the majority decision by the judges. How do you feel the fight went?
I felt the judges scored it right. I think it was a little bit further away than how some of them had it, but you know, I understand why they had it, because it was back and forth. I've watched the fight back a good few times, and you know, I won, so it doesn't really matter. But I did see some of them, and I scored it all the same. I scored it, me winning easily in the 10th round. I had myself 3 rounds up, and I still had to chase it though. But I had myself 3 rounds up, and it was toe to toe. It was back and forth. So I get why the scorecards were like that. I'm just happy they tipped in my favour.
Fantastic. We first saw you in 2017 when you fought Ladislav Nemeth.
Yeah. My 4th fight, I think.
I noticed back then that your fan base and how popular of a fighter you are. How does it feel to have such a big turnout for people from Luton, especially that night against Tyler Derry as well?
Yeah, it's just, you know, like, it's just grown strength to strength, the fan base. You know, I've got a lot of people following me, and you know, I'm really thankful for it. I always appreciate all this love and support. But it's, at the same time, as you know, that's what I've been building for, and I do a lot of PR myself, and I put myself out there, and you know, it's just really good to hear your name being sung like that. You know, especially I'm a football fan as well, so a lot of them are football fans, and it's good to just hear your name being screamed left, right, and centre and being sung and chanted. So no, it feels amazing. I'm really lucky to have the support I do have.
That's fantastic. Speaking, being a football fan, you know, I remember that night I did ask you, would you want to present your new belt at Luton's ground? And it happened, right?
Yeah.
Presented on the pitch of your hometown club, Luton Town in Kenworth Road. How did that feel? Was that feeling? I know it's silly for me to ask. Was that feeling better than the night when they said NU?
To an extent, yeah. The night they said I knew, it never sunk in. The day I walked out onto the pitch and got the reception all round, it was just yeah, it was just amazing. It was just like I've actually done this. I can't believe I've actually done this. And yeah, so it was just again another surreal moment, and it just I felt really good. I just felt amazing. So yeah, no, to an extent, I think that night on the pitch was a little bit better.
Previous to you winning the title, obviously another boxer from Luton did the same, K Prosper. How's it feel that Luton has two champions now, and you know, is boxing growing in the city of Luton?
Yeah, massively. Yeah, like there's loads of first of all, it feels amazing to have two champions holding the same belt in different weights from the same place. I can't remember the last time that happened, but yeah, it's just an amazing thing. And Luton's a fighting town, a footballing town, and it's starting to show. Maybe right now not on the football side so much, but it's a great feeling to be from a place like that. Everyone loves their boxing over there, so it's just a place where there's a bit of a breeding ground. Everyone's coming up, loads of people are coming up. You've got Alex Bishop coming up, there's loads of Jordan Medals coming up, loads of people are coming up from Luton, so you're going to hear about Luton boxing a lot more.
And football as well, hopefully.
And football. We're not going down this season.
That's good. I remember, sorry to bring up, I remember the night that you won the title, you guys lost 6-1 that day.
7-0, I think.
Or 7-0. Sorry, I tried to ease it up.
7-0.
But
Brentford, yeah.
Yeah, but obviously, that your win brought some pride back to the city.
Yeah, the amount of people, that's all the people after, and they were like, yeah, well done mate, you smashed it, you really picked up the day after we got smashed at Brentford. And yeah, I heard that too many times that day. I remember I was sitting down, I was eating about maybe 3 hours before the fight, and I'm sat there, just my phone kept on going off, and it was my football reminder, and it was like, Luton 1-0 down, 3-0 down, 5-0 down, and it just kept on going, and I was like, oh man, pressure's on now, isn't it?
That's it.
But no, it was, I put a smile on their faces that night, so I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that.
How did you get into boxing?
A good friend of mine, Ron Walpole, we used to play football when I was younger, and I played football first, and then I kind of got sick of that, and the timing was just right. As I was left football, my friend was like, I'm starting this boxing thing, there's a club that I'm like running little boxing classes, and I went down there, I tried it out, and I liked the training, I really liked the training, and he said, if you want to compete, Hoko Ring Amateur Boxing Club, you can go there and fight there. And I went down there, and from that day I never saw myself doing anything else, and that was it. I started boxing at 17, and that was it. I never really looked back after that. It just, I don't know, it just felt right. And then 4 years later I turned professional, and that was it really.
How's camp going right now for your next fight?
Yeah,
how's training going?
Really, really well. Just Sean was saying, it's really intense, but it feels like relatively normal. We're just kind of getting on with it. It's getting to the point now where we're about 20 days out. It's getting really, really tough now. But it's nothing new. We've been here before. We fought for titles before. We know what it's like to train for a title fight. But we're on target of everything. The weight's fine. Output is great, and everything is, all the numbers are right. We're doing everything that we need to be doing to get where we are. So yeah, camp's going brilliantly. Nothing's out of place right now. So I'm happy where I am and where we all are really.
Fantastic. Obviously you're fighting an old foe of Sean, John Brennan. Have you guys watched over the fight, Sean's fight, or have you given him any advice on what you could have done different in that night?
More. I think Linus is a different fighter to me. Obviously, a middleweight. He's a big middleweight as well. Yeah. So I didn't really let Linus do his thing. There's no point me saying too much to Linus. I know how good of a boxer Linus is. So I know when he obviously see the fight, he knows what he's got to do. So I've got full confidence in Linus going there and doing the business.
Fantastic. So your next fight is the 21st of March, correct? Yeah. So if people want to get tickets for both your fights coming up, how can they do that?
Contact each of us on social media really, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. For me, Linus_Udofia, and yeah, just contact me on that. There's ticket links everywhere, or if they're close enough, tickets are in hand. So all tickets are there.
Can we see a big crowd from Luton that night?
Oh, you better believe it. We're playing Leeds away, so that's better for me because a lot of people won't be going up there. So it's that's better for me anyway. Yeah, so it should be another big crowd, a lot of noise. You should hear it. Let's put it that way. You're going to hear it. So it'll be fun. And the show will Brennan. So it's going to be fun.
Thank God it's not Brentford, right?
No.
Sean, what about your social media?
It's Sean Robinson 955 and Facebook just Sean Robinson. Funny enough, QPR are playing Fulham the day we're fighting as well, so it's a local derby. But it's a half 12 kickoff.
And it's in London, so that's great.
Yeah, it's half 12 kickoff, so hopefully I'll be getting a lot of QPR fans coming from QPR game. One of my sponsors, Zoom Enterprise, they do a lot of QPR, and so I think a lot of the people are coming through that to the fight. So it should be brilliant. Good day out for everyone. Hopefully, 2 wins.
Fantastic. You're obviously middleweight. That's a big weight class right there. A lot of great fighters right now in that division. Is there anyone you look up to?
Not like Sean said. Funny enough, not current. Right now, I look behind. I look Roy Jones, Whitaker, Hopkins. A lot of very defensive-minded fighters. You know, scraps fun, and sometimes you might need to do that, but the game of the game is to hit and not get hit. So I've always kept on the basis of defence is key and defence is everything. So every fighter I've ever looked up to has always been relatively defensive. So right now, not any current fighters, but I'm a big fan of Brigando, Lomachenko. Fighters that don't really get hit much. Those are the kind of people I look up to. But right now, not anyone at middleweight.
Who would you say is number 1 in your division right now?
I guess Alvarez. Or
changes all the time, doesn't he?
Alvarez, Andrade, all those.
Billy Joe Saunders, maybe.
Billy Joe's up there. All these fighters. They're up there. They're well up there. Even Liam Williams. All these fighters are well up there. But I don't really look at fighters like that. I just look at the accolade of the title and the actual prize. I don't really care about the fighters. I'm just trying to win.
Focus on what you've got right now and then.
Yeah, because those fighters will change, the belts will change, and all that will change. But the fighters will change, the holders will change, the belts won't. So I just want that.
We had some fighters last week, and I asked them the same question. Is there any British boxers that you see right now that you think are up there getting title shots that you think, you know what, I should be there? Or anyone that you would like to maybe fight in the future?
Not really. Like I said, I'm not really fussed or bothered about other fighters. I just want a prize. Whoever's got British, I want that. Whoever's got Commonwealth, I want that. I don't care who it is. I don't care if Denny gets all of them and I have to fight him all. I really don't care. I just want the accolade. Really, I don't look at anyone and go, I want to fight them. If I have to fight them, I have to fight them. That's just how I look at it.
Sean, any British fighters that you look up to in the sense of that might want to fight one day or be an honour to fight them? Legends in the welterweight.
The current British champion Scott Fitzgerald is a brilliant fighter, but at the moment I'm not at British level. English level, you've got Harry Scarf, Jack Flatley. I think Jack Flatley's fighting Anthony Fowler next week. But I look at all them boys, and obviously they're not far, they're within reach. So I've always got my eye on their fights, because when I see people lose at British level, they're going to be coming back down to English level, aren't they? So I'm always looking at them sort of fighters, but I wouldn't say I'm aiming to fight any in particular one. I know that's the bunch who are going to be around that level. So I keep my eye on all of them, to be honest with you. Anyone top 15, that obviously got the world level, top 5 in Britain. But anyone else, top 10, top 3, I keep my eye on everyone. Just you're going to fight them sooner or later, if you keep winning. So
yeah. So we've worked with knife crime campaigners before. Do you believe that sport is the answer to get out of the life of crime? Is it mental health as well?
I think sport's got a big impact to play. I'm sure Linus will say as well, but boxing, it takes up your life. So if you're a kid, you're at school all day and then you go and box in the evening, it's brilliant. But I think there's other things as well. There's everything. It's where I live, well, to be honest, it's not where I live, so my dad lives Shepherd's Bush. My uncle runs a lot of youth work. I think stuff like that's brilliant. It's not always sports. It could just be fun camps and holidays. It's just kids I was I've never been in any trouble or anything, but you've got a lot of time with your kids, so that's the problem. Is if kids have got too much time, that's when they're going to start.
Yeah. I
think if you just get in a sport, playing that, then you've got other things. You haven't got the time to get in trouble or mess about. So that's what I think. So boxing, sport's brilliant.
So the words are out of my mouth, to be honest.
if there's any young listeners right now and think, you know what, I want to get into boxing, but I'm a bit scared, shy to go into the gym and maybe like, you know, try to hit the bag for the first time and everyone's looking at me, you know, you sometimes feel like you're not good enough and people might judge you. What advice would you give them? Like when you first got into a boxing gym, was you nervous, or did it come natural?